Right. Let me pull the chat back up. Going to this over here. All right, wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us tonight. I know it's such a beautiful evening. We want to make sure that you have some time to spend it outside and in the sunshine. So we will keep this brief this evening, but hopefully this will be some good information for you and your students as we look forward to next school year at Lorain County JVS. So welcome. I want to first do a brief introduction of our principal. Mrs. Tina Pelto was kind enough to lead this session for us tonight. Tina Pelto is a career tech kid through and through. She attended Willoughby Eastlake Career Tech's administrative secretary program when she was in high school, and for college attended Cleveland State and Ashland University. After that, she taught English for 11 years, both at career centers, Medina County Career Center and Polaris Career Center in Cuyahoga County. We were lucky enough to have her join us at Lorain County JVS about 15 years ago. She is married with 4 kids and 1 cat named Sam. And a fun fact about Mrs. Pelto, she has been to 3 of the 7 continents, which I think is pretty impressive. Most people have only made it to 2 or 1.
Don't worry if you're dog people. We've had dogs our whole lives. We're just at a place in our lives where a dog is a lot. So we are now dealing with a cat. So
yes, the dog's about 5 minutes before we started this presentation. I'm here alone and my dog gave me the look of like, potty, can it be now? And I just say, you're gonna have to wait a minute, buddy, not right this second. All right, so we also wanted to introduce some individuals who are not on the call with us tonight, but these are people that your students will be seeing every day when they're here in the building. And so I wanted you to be able to start putting faces with some of the names that you'll be hearing. Megan Champagne is our associate principal and Brandon Kuczynski is our assistant principal. Jessica Ross heads our attendance office, and you will see her right at the front of the building as soon as you walk in. And she helps any of our students who are coming in late, leaving early. If students need to call off for the day, Jessica Ross is the person that you will be working with. And then 4 of our administrative assistants who work on different tasks in the principal's office department, Linda Gurick, Michelle Rennie, Julie Smith, and Mary West. On today's agenda, we're going to run through a few different items. The first one being accepting your spot at LCJVS if you have not done that already. Attendance expectations, uniforms, school delays, calamity days, how you would receive notifications from us, transportation, and some upcoming dates that you'll want to save on your calendar. Again, if you have any questions, please enter those into the chat box. We will answer them live when we finish our slide deck today. Okay, so to kick it off, everybody on this call, you should have received your acceptance letter from Lorain County JVS. Congratulations. We are so excited to see your students with us come August. The first step, and hopefully everyone has already done this, but if you have not, that is okay. Your first step is to make sure that you confirm your acceptance. This locks in your student's spot with us and allows them to choose their classes that they will be starting in the fall. So in those letters, you'll need those to accept the spot because everyone has an individual link and a code to use to help you log in to do that. If you have any questions or you need help with that process, you can either respond to the email that I sent out today with the link for today's meeting, and I can help you with that, or we can try to answer some of that live as well. All right, so Mrs. Pelto, I will pass it over to you to talk about attendance expectations.
Sure. In career tech, attendance is a huge piece of what we do as we prepare students for work. And that's critical not only because attendance is important on the job, but also because of how we teach. It's difficult enough for a student to make up work that they may miss in an English class, but if they are in welding, it's very difficult to send home the worksheet. So it's important that they're here for that hands-on instruction. So you'll hear us talk about attendance. We say every minute counts at the JVS, and that is the truth. If for some reason your child does have to leave early, like say they have an orthodontist appointment, or or there's an appointment that you have to go to for for whatever reason, we ask that you call the high school office that day and then follow it up with a note the next day. And we do that because it might sometimes high school students have been known to write notes that their mom didn't know about. So we always want to talk to you and make sure that you know that your child is leaving campus. Associate school events, we encourage our students to take part in all of the opportunities available to them at their home schools. And so if the homeschool has an event that your child is invited to and is going to, that's fine. Just let us know that that is happening, and we will let them out on time to get there. And that includes things like pep rallies and wrestling meets and all those activities that they're involved in. We just need to know, and it doesn't count against their attendance. It counts as an associate school event. We also know that sometimes, families plan things around the holidays, or they have to take a day like for a college visit, or sometimes like we're taking the kids to Disney at Christmas, we need an extra day or two. We do have a vehicle for that, where a student can complete a pre-planned absence form, and then we'll look at their attendance, and most of the time those are excused unless the child is already having trouble with attendance or with their classes, and then we want to have a conversation about that to make sure that they're not falling behind. And that's the cat. So what is an excused absence? Excused absence are defined by law. They are written in our handbook, and they're the same as they are at your associate school. So there are things like illness of the child, illness of a family member, a funeral, a court appearance. Those are all excused absences. Sometimes we'll hear, well, my child is late because their car broke down. And we are very sympathetic. We have all been there. Just know that that's not an excused absence. Not the end of the world. Most of the time a student only has that happen to them maybe once in their high school career, but we just want to be upfront about that. Chronic absenteeism and chronic truancy. If your child reaches 60 hours of absent time, you will get a letter in the mail that outlines all of the Ohio laws regarding chronic absenteeism and chronic truancy. We know that sometimes families struggle with this. We try to work with you. We do partner with Lorain County Court on this to try and help kids get back on track. Our goal is not to punish families or to punish students who can't make it to school, but to try and find an avenue to get them there. Because again, that hands-on learning that they're getting at the JBS is something that is very difficult for them to make up. For attendance, anytime that your student is off, you would reach out to our attendance office and just send them an email saying, my child is sick this day. We don't have to know what kind of illness they have, just that they're sick. But our auditor does require a note for every day of absence. And that's the email that you would send it to. If you have any questions, Jessica's number's there. She's very sweet, lovely to talk to you. So don't hesitate to call her. So our uniforms at the JBS, we've had uniforms for a long, long time at the JBS, maybe 10 years. Our students are allowed to wear a jean or a work pant. They can't wear ripped jeans. It has to be it can't be a jean that's ripped up the legs, that it's all in fashion right now. And for shirts, they'll wear their LCJBS t-shirt or hoodie. Some programs may have specific requirements for safety reasons, such as welding, such as sometimes our construction students have bright green shirts. At orientation, the lab teachers will talk to the parents about if they have any of those special requirements. And know that every new student to the JBS will receive 2 uniform t-shirts and a uniform hoodie at no cost on the first day of school. Part of your when you register for classes, it'll ask the shirt size of the student. Additional items can be purchased through the school, and that link will come out to you as well prior to orientation, because you might want more than 2 t-shirts. That's up to you as a family. So calamity days. Calamity days or delays can occur for lots of reasons. We've had water main breaks. We had a squirrel chew through the power line once. We have snow days. We've had severe cold days. I think polar vortex days. Lots and lots of days. But when COVID happened, we learned that we can continue instruction even if we're not in the building. So if we are closed due to the weather or some other bizarre incident that closes a school building, we will still have online instruction. That will be asynchronous. So our teachers will post assignments and the students will have all day to do those assignments, so they can sleep in a little bit, go outside, build a snowman, then come in and get their work done.
So, Mrs. Pelto, I'm actually going to jump in on this one. I am the communications director at Lorain County JVS. So I wanted to make sure, as we're talking about calamity days, school delays, anything like that, to make sure that all of your contact information is up to date with the high school office. In the event of any of these things happening, we would notify you by email, a phone call, text message, and also social media. I have two of our primary social media accounts on Instagram and Facebook. If you search Lorain County JVS, you will find us right away. We post information there as soon as we email, call, and send a text. We're also posting to social. So that information is very timely as well if you're looking for something. But of course, having your contact information, we notify you by email and a phone call first. So that will be the fastest way. So just making sure that that email and that phone number is up to date with the high school, and making sure that we don't end up in your junk folder. So marking us as a safe sender in your email as well. All right, transportation.
Sure. So our associate schools all provide busing from the high schools to JVS, there and back. And all JVS students are permitted to ride those buses, but you do need to let your associate school know that you need to have a spot on the bus so that they can provide enough buses for all of our students. Lots of times parents will call with questions about a bus number or about a bus timing, like what time does the bus leave North Ridgeville High School in the morning? What time can I expect them dropped off again? And we ask that you reach out to your associate school transportation departments with those questions because they're going to have more accurate information than we can give you. If your student is driving to school, they do need to purchase a parking permit. The permits are $10. And we do stagger when students can buy those tickets to give our seniors the first opportunity to park. We do run out of spaces by the end of the year, but usually it takes until the end of the year before all of our spaces are gone as our sophomores start to get their driver's license. So seniors can start purchasing parking permits on August 10th, juniors a week later on August 17th, and then sophomores not until September 5th. It's important for our juniors and seniors to drive because many of them will be on work placement or they'll have an early release or a late start. So that's why we have that policy. So some fun things coming up. Freshman orientation is on August 3rd. We do ask that all freshman families attend this. On that day, it's a very fun night. The students do fun things in their lab and get to know the kids that will be in their class so that when they come to school on the first day, they know what to expect. They have a friendly face there. It helps in many ways for students. And while that's happening, we do all kinds of sessions welcoming our parents to the JVS and to high school. So there's different things happening for the adults than for the kids. We also do fun things like cooking demos, and it's a fun night, just specifically for our freshman families. When we say returning student orientation, that is students who are returning to the same program. So if I have a senior who was in electricity as a junior, they would come to returning student orientation on August the 16th. If I have a 10th grader who was with us as a 9th grader, they would come to returning student orientation. But if I have a student that is going into a new program, like a 11th grader, even if they were with us for the 9th and 10th grade and they're just starting in cosmetology this year, they're going to come to orientation on August 17th. Same thing with all of our brand new families to the building. Our 10th, 11th, and 12th grade new families will come on August 17th. We do assign some time blocks in that just to try to space out the numbers. But if the time that is assigned for you doesn't work, feel free to call us and we can arrange for another time for you.
Great. Thank you so much, Mrs. Pelto. I appreciate it. Before I stop sharing my screen, I did want to mention that we do have another upcoming virtual information session similar to what we had this month and the one that we had in May with our school counselors. In June, our topic will be special education supports. So if you have a student that needs special education supports during their time here, Denise Scarpucci is our supervisor for that, and she will be delivering an information session that will cover topics like case managers, what do accommodations look like, testing, what are the medical supports we provide, and some success stories from some of our current and former SPED students as well. So you will find the link to that in the last Welcome Wagon email that we sent out in May, and it will be included again with the June issue. All right, so let's see if we have any questions here today. Heather, Mrs. Pelto, Heather had a question. Does that include kids in a gifted program?
For that information session?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that they're absolutely welcome to attend. Absolutely. You know, while you are on the call, I do want to just tell you to thank you for your choice of career tech and to tell you that it is such a great thing for kids. And I say that as someone who lived it, right? I was that kid who went through career tech. I worked my way through college on the skills that I learned in that program. And it's been a really great choice for me. I can also tell you that one of our children, one of our daughters, went through to a career program, and she works her way. She's at college now and is working, that job to help her through college as well. It's a great choice for all kids. It's a good choice for kids that want to go to college. It's a good choice for those that do not, that want to go straight into the workforce. Especially in this economy, our kids are working. It is essential.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. My department oversees career services as well, and I can tell you the past 2 years we've had so many employers reach out to us. We actually have Swagelok, who is a manufacturer based in the Strongsville area, that reached out to us this year wanting to build a relationship with some of our students in machining, and they are taking 3 summer interns this year, which is incredible. So it's been nice to see those relationships really bloom the past 2 years, even more so than they have been.
Today we were talking to a collision repair instructor, and he said that 10% of all body people in the nation are expected to retire this year. 10%
Wow.
of all of them. That there's a huge demand in collision.
Yeah. Wonderful. All right. Well, I don't see any other questions, but if anyone has a question at any point in time, again, feel free to respond to that email that I sent out this evening. We do monitor that every day, so someone will respond and get back to you. But otherwise, we will wrap it up tonight. Go enjoy the sunshine, the beautiful warm evening, and we look forward to seeing you in August. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.